Hi there, welcome to my channel. Today we're testing out the Posca paint pens. I have never tried these before. That might shock you. I've never tried an acrylic paint pen at all. So this could be a fail, I don't know. But I'm typically a paint with brushes kind of gal. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments what you typically use to paint with. Are you a paint palette, craft squeegee type, or do you use these frequently? If you're new to the channel, my name is Kristina. Thanks for being here. If you're interested in anything with acrylic paints, art, drawing, gonna dive into watercolor eventually too, then make sure you subscribe and join us and elevate your art. Okay, so the materials I'm going to be using for this video to test out these pens are materials I want to use in the future. So I'm gonna test out on paper and just to see how they function. Do they have a nice smooth flow? I'm gonna look for just ease of use and consistent use. Can I get a nice thin line? Like, what is the quality gonna be like? I don't know yet. I also love to create ornaments, so I'm curious to see if that's gonna help with my workflow using a paint pen versus using brush like I've normally been using. So I'll create, these kinds of ornaments and various designs. So there's all kinds of designs that I have in mind for that. And I also just purchased some, I purchased some rocks and I'm gonna paint on them. I'm not sure what yet, but I thought these might be worth testing on as well once I get a little more used to things. And then also in my sketchbook, because I want to see if it works well in the sketchbook, how that goes. So there are 3 different sizes in here. Let's open it and see what I think of it. Okay, I'm guessing you're gonna want some kind of paper as like something to test it on before you do it onto something like this. So let's just open this up. So this is what it came in, just like packaged like this. It wasn't in any fancy kind of case or anything. Okay, so probably don't need that anymore. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, we've got, so this is the black. So I've got 3 blacks because I'm just curious to try the different sizes here. So this is bullet shaped. So it's PC3M. This one's PC1M, so it's a 0.7 millimeter. So it's interesting. Okay, so because of the shape, I should be able to get 0.9 to 1.3 millimeters. So I have some, ability to kind of shift gears there. And then PC1M, 0.7 millimeters. And then this one's PC1MR, pin type, 0.7 millimeters. Okay, so first things first. Okay, also worth noting is 2 of them are bullet shaped. Okay, thinking of a bullet. And this one's a pin type, so that'll be interesting. So let's do that one after. Let's start with these ones and then see which one we want to test things out with. So we'll start with this kind of, it's actually a watercolor canvas paper is what I'm using right here. So instructions right here: shake, press down, and then draw. Okay, sounds simple. Shake it up. I don't know how long I'm supposed to shake this. It doesn't say how long to shake. I just figure I don't know how long it's been sitting there. It's the first time I'm using it, so I better give it a good shake. Maybe I can shake more than one at a time. Get them all kind of going. How long do you shake? How long do you shake this? I don't know. Okay, so I'm starting with PC1M. Oh, maybe I should have started with the big, I don't know. Let's do it. Okay, here we go. Here's the tip. I'm gonna touch the tip. It says to push. Oh! That came out so fast. Oh my goodness. You guys, Okay, there goes like how much of my paint. Okay. So this one here is the PC1M. Okay, pretty thin actually. We're talking 0.7 millimeters. Okay. So this is unfortunate right here. So I'm just gonna kind of do something here. Flame like, I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. Feels very like tree branch like something. This is why you start with one of these papers. Holy smokes, can you imagine if I had done that directly on this? Oh boy. That was sketchy. Okay. So, you know, if that happens, just make yourself a cool design. Go with the flow, right? I like the thinness of it. I'm liking that. It's very black. Okay, so you can go very thin, and you can go like a bit thicker if you draw on the side of it. Okay, let's see how it works in a sketchbook. Okay. So let's say I'm doing some kind of doodle. I'm also curious if this just keeps going or if I have to shake it periodically or just initially. Wow, this is pretty amazing, guys. This can make all of this detailing that I've been doing with a brush like so much easier, just faster. Okay, but before I try it on this one, I do want to see the other sizes. So I'm just gonna put a little PC1M. So I know that's that. So all it says is to replace the lid, like snap it on tight. I hear a little click sound, so there we go. Okay, that one we've tried. Let's try this big one. Okay, maybe I don't need to shake it as much. But I am gonna try it on here first. Okay, let's very gently tap. Ah, goodness gracious. Does that always happen? I don't know what it is about these kind of lines. Just lends well to it. What can I say? Okay, so this one is the PC3M. So you can see it's a thicker line, and we're 0.9 to 1.3. So it's interesting that it's a 0.9 to 1.3. Does this other one actually give... So this one gives you kind of a range. I can't decide. So if you need to do a thicker line. So let's see if I can do like thicker to like thinner, kind of. What I also want to know is how thin it can finish, you know, the tail. Is it a flat finish? Because it's a rounded tip, it kind of has a bit of a rounded finish to it. How good are the dots? Okay, well, let's try it in here. Move this over. I'm gonna do the same little leaf design. I used to do gel pens. This is gonna age me. Back when I was in junior high, on people's hands, kind of like henna, just for fun. And this one's the PC3M. And I'm putting this in my, lock it in. Putting this in my sketchbook as my reference. I love using my sketchbook as a reference for color and how a tool works, and at the top I should write Posca. That just hurt my heart to see all that paint just go flood and make a mess, and just, I don't know about you guys, was that painful? Feels like a bit of a fail, but is that like common? Does that always happen? I need to search this more and look up this use, but I'm really impressed by this after the fact of, you know, getting that initial, you know, kind of paint in the tip, you know, the little flooding, I guess we could call it. After that, it works really nicely, and I don't know how long it works as nice like that. If it's just gonna stay like constant flow until I'm done my piece, like will that work for like an hour of work? Like, I'm really curious about that. That's to come, right? Let's try the smallest one. Okay, I didn't really shake this one up too much, but perhaps it doesn't need to be shaken up too much. Okay, take it off. Oh wow, that's very tiny. Okay, hello. Very tiny. Getting ready for the flood. I don't want the flood. I'm trying to like avoid the flood. I don't know. It's not coming. Perhaps I haven't, needs to be shaken up more. Okay, here we go. Oh, I already see some. Look, it's already come down because I've already pressed it. Okay, now this one here is, I haven't really organized this nicely. I mean, it's kind of a big mess now, but this is the PC1MR. PC1MR. Wait, this is 0.7 millimeters too. Just a different kind of tip. 0.7 millimeters. It looks almost thicker than this first one, but maybe I'm a little more loose with it now, like kind of more used to it. But let's draw it in here to see the difference. And I don't have my little, I don't know what you call that. Looks scary. Okay, let's put it near this one here so I can kind of have a, you know, comparison going on. I like the flow of it. Getting a nice solid line. Yeah, it definitely seems thicker than this one. Or maybe I was just being dainty with that. I need to try this first one again. And then this PC1MR. So I guess the thinnest one is actually this one here. How weird is that? I feel like I need to try that one again to really verify PC1M. I don't know if I need to shake that up again or if it's like ready to go. Let's just draw some like loops. Like, I feel like maybe I was just pressing lightly. PC1M, like I was nervous or something. So this one I would say has a bit more of a standard size to it that you consistently get. And then this one here has a little variation because of the tip. So you might be able to get kind of a thin and then maybe a thicker. So if you want something to kind of change and kind of fluctuate in weight of your line, then that seems like this would work. So let's try this on some other things now. Oh, a little nervous. Okay, hold up, you guys. I was just writing up in here, like Posca, like paint pens. And one thing I'm noticing is when I was doing that, it like splattered a little bit. So I don't know, has that ever happened to you? Posca paint pens. See, when I move it a certain way, it did a little splatter. Interesting. So that's an interesting thing to note with this one here. Okay, let's test it out on some projects. I'm gonna try it out on this one here, this little wood cookie type of slice, because it kind of lost some of its, you know, shape with the bark. And so I'm gonna use it as a bit of a tester, but it might still be good enough to sell. We'll see. So I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna start with the big chunky one here. And I'm gonna draw something similar to kind of one of these, which is, I'm planning to do more of these. This isn't a finished piece, but that's the silhouette that I start with. So I'm just gonna start with that and kind of go along there. So I'm just gonna draw my little tree. Where do I want it? Kind of here. And this could be a life-changing tool, product, material. I'm curious if it kind of bleeds. Interesting thing is I don't really smell anything. And like if you're doing this with a Sharpie, it would totally bleed. This is so cool. This is a bit of a game changer for some of my projects that I've been using a brush for, that I'm like, why? Because you know, you have to keep dipping in with your ink liner, like a, you know, a skinny brush, script liner brush. Not that I'm going to be throwing my brushes away, but dude, this is wild. I like don't even know what to do with myself right now. I'm like, okay. This is working really well. I'm really happy. It's not bleeding. It's keeping its shape really well. It's keeping its consistency really well. Wow. And even on this kind of rough surface, it's not a perfectly smooth piece of wood. It's fairly smooth. It's not like too rough. It's been sanded to be a bit more smooth. But I am impressed. 100% impressed here. Ooh, this is fun. I could just keep doing this. And what's cool is I thought I'd have to go down to a smaller size, but for this particular project, I don't know that I will. Don't think I need to. But if I wanted to do kind of tiny branches in behind, maybe I would. Oh wow, this is really gonna speed up my process, I think. Now I need to get the other colors. It's kind of got chunky there. I'm gonna have to fill in a bit there, I think, to make it make more sense. Wow, you guys, how cool is that? That's so much faster than my current process has been for making these. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's blows my mind, guys. Blows my mind. I'm not even upset with myself. I could have tried these things sooner, but I'm just happy to discover something that works better. Like when you find an app that changes your organization, your life. I don't know, like it's just one of those discovery moments that's very exciting for me. I'm gonna try it on a rock, even though I don't know what I'm planning to do with my rocks. This is something I'm debating right now. Let's do it. Let's just go for it. Let's try painting on a rock. I haven't painted on a rock in a long time. Okay, time to make a little design. This guy here. Let's start with the medium one here. PC1M. Just testing it out. Always test it, I think, is a good idea. You can put the back on there, so I like that. Okay, because you definitely don't want to lose the cap. All right, I'm gonna kind of do some, I don't know yet. Let's start with like a cool just line going across. I'm gonna bring in a couple like a big line for a tree. Works so smooth. Just gliding across here. Super cool. Those lines are kind of coming too close. Let's do another one under. Like a little skirt there. kind of keeping these like simple block type forms. That's kind of cool. Let's add some doodles into that, I think. So it's not quite drying super quick. I want to let that kind of dry. Then I want to go in with my tiny one. We're going to make some little designs here. It's going to be a little doodle, a doodle rock. And if I don't like it, I can always paint over it. And this one here, we'll do little dashes this way. You can keep it simple, just like that. Add some color, or keep going with different lines and things. I think I want to add a little bit of thickness to this thing there. Maybe give it a friend. Could always use a friend. Could always use a friend, right? We could all always use a friend. Yeah. The joy. Because I didn't want them touching. Keep to yourselves, friends. Keep to yourselves. So I'm curious to see kind of how it dries, because it's kind of wet right now. Kind of curious to see. What's great is you can sign your name with it. It's really versatile. Love it. You can make little designs. I'd like to try painting on this first and then painting over top and see how that functions. But I'm super happy with that. It's very cool. Well, what can I say? I'm really impressed and really excited. I'm a little scarred too with how the beginning went, but overall, I'm really, really happy and excited to use this in my projects and get more colors now that I've tried the black, because I thought at least I can use the black for some like kind of doodle silhouettes if I don't like it. I didn't want to get other colors until I felt like this was a product that I want to use. So now I'm thinking I might want to try some other colors, and I'm also curious to know if there are other brands that are better than this one, or is this the top of the line? And if you've tried other brands, let me know in the comments if you have a favorite and if you think there's one that I should try and compare with this one. If you want to try these pens, there's a link in the description to go purchase them. They're not expensive. I'm really impressed by the price and the functionality. And I guess we'll see how long they actually last. That will be an interesting thing to kind of verify as well. So thanks so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.